Excellent. Okay, so today we are discussing how you will be helping me as a business owner. I've got a salon with a 4-person team, 4 therapists. The services we provide are nails, hair removal, massage therapy, and then facials. I'm bringing in about 120 to 150,000 Rand a month in recurring revenue. Less than 20% of my income is from a retail product sold, which I know is not good. Then I'm not profitable and I'm experiencing major cash flow problems. So honestly, I don't think I will be able to keep the doors open for more than another 6 months if we continue down this path. Then something else which is concerning is my rent is extremely high. It's more than 15% of my monthly revenue. How would you help me from my current position to become profitable? And cash flow positive is the most important thing now, and then to grow onward from that. What's the first steps we're going to put in place?
Okay, so there is a 4-phase process that we will go through. My history is that I used to be part of a big spa group where I was in a managerial and leading position, and they gave me all the broke spas to turn them around. So I've done this many a time. In the past 12 years, I've worked with more than 300 salons, and we've done the same. So I've developed a blueprint, a recipe that actually works. All right. First, we're going to start with your budget.
I'm going to interrupt you quickly. So how many of those 300 spas and salons were in a similar position that I currently am?
I think the majority starts there when they get to me. That's sort of where they're at and why they land up with me.
So you've seen multiple situations where I'm in as well. Okay.
Correct.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, and that's what I like. I like to turn it around. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So you said there's 4 stages that we're going to look into over the next couple months.
Yes. Okay, the first one is the budget. So that is basically looking at your income and your expenses and your profit and how that varies over the 12 months. Okay. So you will get a document. You will fill in the past 2 years. You will send it to me.
What information do I need to fill in that document?
You're literally just going to fill in per month your different incomes, your different expenses, and I will look at your bottom line. And that will be 2 sets of 12 months, the most recent. Okay. I will then receive that and analyze it. There are certain ratios where things should be, let's say your salary shouldn't be more than 30 or 33% of your income. And your cost of sales shouldn't be more than 20 to 40%. Okay. And your rent shouldn't be more than 10%. All right. So there we already know. So we're going to look at those things. Where are your red flag areas? We're also going to look at over a year. If you have months where a month is only 6 or 7 or 5% of the year's income, it's a definite that's a loss month. You're not going to make a profit.
What should it be?
It should be at least 8%.
At least 8%.
8% is when you actually make a little bit of profit and there's cash flow. So we're going to look strategically, how can we change those months? Or do we need to build higher months around it just so that you can put some money away to actually pull it through? Okay. So now we've looked at your income, how it splits over the year to manage that better. Then we're going to look at your breakdown. You mentioned that your retail is under 20%. And we really want to build that to 33%, a third of your income. So we're going to see what is realistic. Can we take it up to 25%? Okay. And then maybe you sell vouchers, but you only sell 1% of your income. Can we take it to 2 or 3%? Because vouchers are new clients, and that's what you want to build your business as well.
Build more relationships, more recurring clients.
And they also buy new vouchers or they become a regular client. All right. And then I will look the 2 years that you sent. What growth did you have year on year? So let's say you only grew 5%. Then we're going to try and grow 10%. Or if we have a very good strategy, we're maybe going to push for 15%. So some people don't put up their prices annually. So we're also going to look at that.
Analyze the price list.
Yeah, so that'll be part of our second phase, but I just want to mention it. If you put up, most brands go up the 1st of March every year. If you align with that and put your prices up that 6 or 8%, it means that you're doing exactly the same, but you're bringing in 6 or 8% more. So there's all these aspects that we will look at to make sure that we get that growth, that it's a definite. Okay. We will also look at your expenses. You know, where are the expenses which is unnecessary, or you can get other quotes. One of the phases will address salaries and targets, so that's how we will sort that out. We will look at like your cost of sales, which is your professional, your retail products, things like expiry stock, are they overusing stock, you know, all those things to help you with minimizing that.
Yeah, we've been experiencing problems as well with stock that's been sitting on the shelves, especially retail stock. The professional stock we've been using, but the retail stock has been sitting on shelves and expiring, and that's money down the drain.
Yeah. So in phase 3 and 4, when we look at the salaries of the therapists and what their retail percentage is, in stage 4, we're going to track their retail and we're going to equip them how to actually retail. Because most therapists are the personality, the S personality, that's introvert, people-orientated, nurturing, they don't like rejection. But you need 5 rejections before your client's going to buy from you. So you just got to carry on with that until you retail, but they stop too quickly. Okay. Then obviously the bottom line is very important. Everyone can make money, but if there's nothing left at the end of the day, then that's where you sit where you are now. So we're going to look at that bottom line. If it's a minus at the moment, can we at least get it to 5%? So that means for every 100 Rand that you bring in, can we have 5 Rand left by the end of the financial year?
So 5% profit.
Correct. Yeah. In our industry, we look for 15%. That's a really good profit. And then I've worked with businesses year on year. You can build towards it. This year 5%, next year we aim for 7 or 8, then we go over to 12 until you build towards your 15. So it's good to grow with small increments, but it stays forever. It's not up and down. Yes.
Okay. And so just to recap, phase 1 is going to be you analyzing all my expenses, all my income, and then restructuring and suggesting how we should transform those ratios to the system that you know works and you have been using over the past 12 years and more.
So I will assist you then to put a budget together for the next year. You will understand for the first time what's happening in your business. Most businesses go on feeling. Feels terrible or it feels great, but sometimes it feels like a terrible month, but you make profit. Then a month feels very busy and you make a loss. So now we work on facts, there's no surprises, and your feeling and what the numbers say becomes the same thing, so that you can actually have a sense how to run your business. So monthly you're going to fill in your actuals. And you're going to know if you're on track or not.
Okay, perfect. And then what does stage 2 entail?
So stage 2 is all about costings for your treatments and looking at your retail brands. So there's a very big business guy and he used to say everything is about margin. He's got about 400 companies. So I've seen salons where they make even more money than you, but they don't have money left. Because their treatments, some make profit and some make a loss, and they cancel each other out. So I once worked with the salon, they made 500,000 a month, but their most booked treatment was making a loss. And that's why they had a very thin profit. So we're then going to look at taking your expenses in your new budget and working out a cost per minute. There's a specific recipe. So let's say you are 7 Rand per minute is what all your expenses except your product costs. Then per treatment, we're going to put in your recipe of your products. Then we're going to see what is your profit margin. After you've paid everything, what is left. On
each treatment now?
Each category and each treatment. So actually the categories have different margins they should have.
So the nails isn't the same as the hair removal.
Correct.
The facial's not the same as the massages.
Correct. So just to give an example, your nails should be 10 to 15% that's left. Your facial should be 25 to 50%.
Profit,
Your hair removal, if we're talking about waxing, it should be 20 to 40%. and similar for laser. And then with your massages, it should be 30 to 50%.
Okay.
So we're going to see, are you in those regions?
Yeah.
If you're not, there is a method how to change it.
Okay.
So can I elaborate on the three things?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the first thing is either to change the time.
Yeah.
So we'll shorten the time.
Yeah.
To change the price, so we make the price more.
Yeah.
Or to see if we can get another product or streamline on the use of the product to get the cost down.
Yeah, because I've been noticing as well, we've been using a lot of professional products in our treatments, more than we should, definitely more than we should.
So we can't leave that to chance.
Yeah.
Each therapist, the one will do a facial up to the elbow, the other one will just do it to the shoulder. You know, we can't, the one will squirt 5 squirts for a serum where actually only 1 is left.
Yeah.
Those things have to be checked and communicated with the team and managed and with stock take. Yeah.
Okay, understand.
So that's basically then we're going to pull your price list correct, so that each item on there is close or within the category of profit that you should make. So you know everything you book, you're actually making money off.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. The last thing just in that category is we'll look at your retail products that you know clearly in your head. I'm stocking 3 brands. This brand makes the most profit, then this brand, then this brand.
Okay.
The short reason for that is if a client is in front of you and both brands works for her.
Yeah.
If the receptionist or the therapist knows this one makes more money and both would benefit her, then we punt the one that makes us more profit.
Okay.
We're not compromising on the result for the client. Yeah. But we're also thinking of the profit margin for the business.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
All right. And that's phase 2. Was there more including phase?
No, that's it.
Perfect. And then moving on to phase 3, what does that entail?
So phase 3 is where we now move on to the team. We've got the foundation of understanding the maths for the business. We know that everything we do makes enough money. Okay. Now
profitable.
We need, Now we take the therapists and we look at their history of income.
Okay.
So you will complete their treatment and retail income.
Yeah.
You will complete what you paid them.
Yeah.
And you will complete their basic salary.
Okay.
Then what we're going to look at is when an employee only brings in 4 times a basic.
Yeah.
For nail techs, it's 3 or 3.5. At that level, you break even. You just pay your bills.
Yeah.
When they bring in 6 or more times, or 5 for the nail techs, 5.5, their basic salary, you actually start showing a bit of profit where you can put back in the business.
Okay.
So we'll see who's profitable, who's not profitable. And where's their retail lying? So who do we need to develop on the retail to go higher? Okay. And then we will also look at your salary structure.
Yeah.
So a salary structure can help an employee to reach her targets if it's built in the same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So currently my salaries on top of my basic, I'm paying therapists 10% on their retail products sold and then 5% on services. That's commission now.
Yes. From rand 1?
Say again?
From rand 1. From every brand that they bring in.
Yeah. Tell me how do you structure it? What works for you?
Yeah. So I've said to you 4 times your basic, that's where you break even. So you can actually not afford that an employee brings in less than 4 times.
Okay.
So they will get 10% from rand 1 on treatments and retail. You put it together.
Yeah.
But only once they bring in 4 times their basic.
Okay.
So if you have a basic of 10, you only get commission if you bring 40,000 in, excluding VAT. Okay. If you bring in 35, no commission.
Yeah.
That pushes the goals that they always make sure that you're on break even.
Yeah, that you're profitable.
Yes. Then there's a second phase in the salary structure.
Yeah.
We said at 6 times you start making a profit.
Yeah.
So we can share with the team.
Okay.
So we then build target levels for them. 6 times, 7, 8, 9.
Almost like a tier system.
Yes. And for a nail tech or a small junior therapist, you want to get to 8 times. And for a more senior therapist, 10 to 12 times. That's a potential. If someone does laser, it can be 20 to 30 times.
So again, if somebody does laser?
Laser and only aesthetic skin, it can be 20 or 30 times even a basic salary. Okay. So on those level, every month, if you do those little ladders of 6, 7, 8, we give you a small little reward every month.
Okay.
Okay, like a 1%.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to push for that one because it's a little bit of a higher reward and it's instant. It's the same month. You know, we can all do with that little bit of extra.
Of course.
Okay? And then on top of that, every quarter, if you make 3 times level 6, we give you a 1.5% bonus on that full amount. It's quite a big amount. So you could miss the 6 the 1 month, but make it up in the other 2 months and still get a nice fat bonus every quarter.
And how have you seen the structure influence the team members in salons and spas and clinics over the past years?
Yeah, so it's phenomenal.
Okay.
As soon as they see if I work a little bit harder, I get more. And if I'm more consistent, you know, I can pay my car's tires. I can save for that holiday. I can do that medical expense that suddenly came up unexpected. So I've seen it's almost like they look after themselves. They actually take ownership of their column because they're being rewarded for it. They're not just getting 10% straight, doesn't matter what they do. And the same basic.
And how much of a deciding factor is that going to play in me becoming profitable? Because it sounds like a big shift in my entire business. I don't know how the team members, the therapists are going to react to it.
No one likes change. But that's where phase 4 will come in. Where we're going to give them a tracking sheet and give them the tools how to actually do it. So we're not just going to throw them into it. This is the structure. This is what you can earn. This is how we're going to help you to manage it and give you the skills to do it. But more important, any employee wants to earn more. I just recently worked with a team where we implemented this. In the first month, the business brought in 40% more.
Really?
40% more in the first month that they implemented the new structure.
I would enjoy that. That would be great.
Yes. And then now over season, where normally they only grew season to season 10%, they grew 30% across the board, the therapists, year on year. So from the previous year, that same month, to this year,
I see,
30%. That's massive. And the girls are excited because they're seeing their bottom line is changing. They're actually getting more money. So that little bit of extra more work, you know, they're actually winning as well.
Excellent. Because the girls are working hard. I want to reward the team, but there's no cash flow to reward the team currently. So I think this can work excellently, where I equip the girls with a structure where they can reward themselves and I don't have to reward them. We both get rewarded at the same time.
I think 2 key things is they need a target. So these levels will be their target. And a target pulls you. And then secondly, you can reward them because it's over 6 times. There is money.
I'm profitable.
To pay. You don't have to stress about salaries or there won't be cash flow to do it. There will be.
Okay. All right. And then stage 4.
So stage 4 is, as I mentioned before, for the business. If they measure their budget, they will manage their money. Same for the therapist. If she measures a few data, she can manage her column, right? So she will get a tracking sheet where we will look at how many clients does she see, how many of them does she rebook, how many retail does she sell, what is her total income, how many new clients does she get. With that, we're going to teach her. We want to grow our total clients. Why? Okay. We want to rebook them because then our column is fuller as we walk into the month, and there is a 60. We want to be around about 60 to 80% with that. Okay. So that's actually there's little formulas in the tracking sheet. It'll spit it out for you. Okay. And then the retail, we now said we want to get them to 25%. It's going to spit out for you what is your percentage. Okay. So it makes it easy for them. And then every week it'll show them what they must bring in. And then they can see if they make it or not. So they can see, I'm winning,
so
I made it here.
It's a conscious, it's not an end of a month story.
Correct.
Oh, I had a bad month. Oh, I had a good month. If they have a bad week or 2 bad weeks, they can still make the month profitable.
Correct. Because a lot of people give up when they have a first week that's bad. They're just like, let's just leave this month and try next month. Okay. But the week doesn't matter. It's about today. The more todays you can make, the more weeks you'll make, the more months you'll make. So it's about small steps of growing.
Okay, excellent.
So that's our last phase where we do the tracking. And then we give them the skills how to do it. How do you retail? How do you give good customer service in order to get a client back? How do you do more treatments with add-ons, with upselling, with cross-selling, you know?
Okay, perfect. So you grow the team, equip the team to grow, essentially.
Yes, because sometimes it's just them knowing not to ask a client, would you like to rebook? She's going to say no, she'll get back to you. But to say to her, the maintenance cycle of your waxing is 4 weeks because of the growth stage of the hair. I need to see in 4 weeks' time, are we going to do a Friday morning again?
Yeah.
Or do you want to come the afternoon?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we look back at the 4 stages, it's going to be first the budget.
Yes.
Then the analyzing all the services.
The costings. To make it profitable.
Then stage 3, we're going to look at the therapist and their columns.
Yeah, we're going to analyze if each one is profitable.
Okay.
And put a structure together for them. A different salary structure where they make money and you make money. Yeah. And
then stage 4 is going to be
the tracking.
Okay.
And how to grow.
Okay, excellent. And these 4 stages, over what time period do we initiate them into the business?
4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it quicker, you can do it multiple.
Okay.
But I find slow change is better change.
Okay.
Because otherwise people get overwhelmed. Yeah.
I see. And then tell me, in past instances where you put the structure, this 4-phase structure in place, how long did it take for a business in my position to become profitable? Because it's going to be tight for me.
It's all about getting to that time 6. If each therapist can quickly get to that time 6, if each one does their bit, then the business is sorted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's going to take, it's not going to be easy, essentially. It's going to take, from my side, I'm going to have to, myself and the team, we are going to have to bring our side to be able to achieve this goal that we have.
Yeah, so I will give you the how, but you have to every day be committed to start changing and doing the different things.
Okay.
Because the people that press in more get quicker results. So it's all about how much you do from your side. It's a 50-50. It takes 2 to tango.
Okay, yes. I understand. And like I said, in the past results you've seen, of the teams that really engaged in taking on this process and making sure they do it right, how long did it take them to become cash flow positive, to become profitable?
So I would say if you're fully committed, 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all about how much you put in from your side with what you're being equipped for.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So it's possible in 3 months. It's just great to hear from my side.
Yeah, like I said, that one client last year in the first month, just by changing her salary structure and the targets, I didn't even look at her budget, none of the other phases. They grew 40% from the previous year.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
Taking away from my anxiety to know at least that there is a proven method, there is a system, there is a strategy that works.
Yes.
And with your guidance, I will be able to put it in place, execute it, and come out of this daunting position that I am at the moment.
Yes, yeah. This is a proven recipe. I have done it many a time. I think my gifting is to make businesses profitable. I personally love that. And I don't, as long as you're committed and you follow the process, there shouldn't be a reason why you can't change it around.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Helena. I appreciate your time.
Pleasure, Andre.